Hello, I'm EG and this is Crocheting with EG. And in this video I have a yarn haul from Hobby Lobby. I went in there on their shipment day and they had some yarn, and so I got some of that. And then, I got some of it. I didn't get all of it. No, I did get all of it. I actually wasn't going to get all of it because there was a couple that I was going to leave, but then I thought this is really nice, so I went ahead and got them all. What else is new? And then I got a couple other random things from... I got a couple other random things in my... I'm from the South, so that's going to come out every once in a while. So I got a couple other random things in one of my variegated videos. Some things from Goodwill, and so I'll talk about that. But the main part of the video is going to be another haul. So I'm still working on my mom's Mother's Day blanket and all that stuff, but hopefully I'll get it done by the next video. So it's turning out really nice. So when I got up, I was hoping that Hobby Lobby wouldn't be that busy because it was raining a little bit hard out, and then it turned to sleet, and then it turned to snow within like maybe a 30-minute period. So I guess the temperature was dropping, but it wasn't the kind of snow that was coating the ground or anything. It was just kind of like rainy, like a rainy, snowy mess out there. And so I was hoping that like the bad weather would keep people inside and stuff. So I was kind of hoping that, you know, when I got there it wouldn't be that busy, and it actually wasn't that busy. And so I went in the store, and it was like early in the afternoon, so I knew that the yarn probably wouldn't be done. And so I walked in there, and the only woman that I saw working was this one that I know that doesn't clearance the yarn. And so because like I've seen her putting the yarn on the shelves, and then she just puts the cart at the end of the day near the cutting table. So I was kind of like disappointed, thinking, you know, I wasn't really hopeful that I would get the yarn, because I was thinking if she's working and she's the one that's putting the yarn on the shelf, she's not the one that clearances it, so she's probably going to be like putting the cart up by the cutting table and not clearancing it. It's going to be like one of the things where they wait until the next day, and then, you know, I'm sleeping all day, and then by the time I get in there it's already gone, because, you know, they put it on the shelves and somebody else bought it. So when I saw her working, I was just thinking, okay, I may not get it today, but I wanted to stay out and pop in later on just in case. So that's when I went to Goodwill, and I did go to Michael's and go to Ollie's, and they didn't have anything, and so it sort of felt like a waste of time, but it kept me out. I'll show what I got at Goodwill in a minute. But once I, you know, finish my long-winded story the way I have at the beginning of my videos, but I wanted to stay out. But then when I popped back into Hobby Lobby, the woman that clearanced the yarn for me that time a few months ago, she was working around in there, and I was thinking, like, I've seen her clearance the yarn, like, you know, right here, because I knew that she would clearance it. And so where I was I went down where the flowers were, and then I turned that corner, where if you turn that corner, like, the remnants are on this wall right here, and then you can see where the yarn aisle is over there. And so I saw her working around in there. I was thinking, okay, good. She was taking yarn out of the bags and putting it on the shelves and stuff. I was thinking, okay, at least she's working, and maybe I'll be able to pop in later and like for a third time to see if they have any yarn. And then I kind of like glanced to the right, because like I didn't expect the yarn to be done, because, you know, she was taking the new yarn out of the bags and stuff, and they usually put all the new yarn on the shelves and then they clearance the yarn. And then I like turned to the right, and I was like, oh my god, like all the yarn was in the remnants already. So that was a really unexpected surprise, because I saw her working around in there putting the new yarn on the shelf. So I went ahead and got the yarn, but because it was still early, I didn't even get a cart. Like, how many times have I said that? I need to just get a cart every single time I go in there, but when you go in there like 3 or 4 times on a shipment day, it's kind of a cumbersome thing to have to like get a cart or whatever, because I just want to get in the store and like check to see if they have any yarn and like get out, so that people don't notice that, oh, there he is again for like the 5th time today. You know, I don't want to like be that noticed or whatever. And so like in having to pull a cart out of those carts and stuff, and then make the clanging noise and stuff, and like everybody like looks over, or in my head you know, they hear me like, you know, getting a cart or whatever, and then they look over just to say hello, and then it's like, oh, well, you know, I already said hello to him like 2 times today. So like sometimes I just don't get a cart, just because I'm assuming that they're not going to have the yarn yet. And I also went in there the first time, and when that other woman was working, I was just thinking, I'm probably not going to get the yarn today, so that's another reason why I didn't get a cart. And then when I saw that woman, and she was like, you know, putting the yarn on the shelves, and I knew that she was the one that clearanced it, I was thinking, oh, I should have gotten a cart. And then I thought, oh crap, there's like a whole bunch of yarn. So what I did was, on the shipment day, when they take all the stuff out of the boxes, like, you know, throughout the store, sometimes they pile them in carts, and then they have them sitting in there, and then they put the stuff on the shelves out of a cart, and then they put all the carts together, and I guess they gather them all up and push them back over there where the carts are after they're done putting stuff on the shelves and in whatever random places. So there were a couple carts stacked together near the flowers, and so I just like grabbed one of those, and then I went over there and got the yarn. And when I was going through the yarn, there was a 27 skeins, and so well, that's not like a lot for me if you've seen some of my previous hauls, but I was thinking that there's, you know, a whole lot of yarn, and do I really want all of these skeins? And like they had these 2 yellow skeins, and I thought, well, I can at least leave one of these, but it's a good thing I didn't, because like when I felt there was one skein of that Cozy Occasion, which I don't usually get because I have it how it feels like marshmallows, or it's kind of weird. But when I picked up this Cozy Occasion, like I picked it up and I was like getting ready to put it off to the side like I do with the Cozy Occasions, but then I thought this feels really good. It's kind of weird how this feels so much different than all the other Cozy Occasions. This is like really soft and squishy, and like most of them are kind of, this is stupid to say, but they feel kind of like dry. I mean, it's dry. I mean, the yarn's dry, but like, you know what I'm saying? It feels like dried out kind of yarn. Just like how I've described it, sort of feels like marshmallows, like the squishiness and like a little bit of like a powdery dryness feeling. I mean, it doesn't feel, it's not powdery, but you know what I'm saying? Like just the feel of it just makes you, it reminds you of like the feel of a marshmallow. But this doesn't feel like that. This feels completely different than all the other ones. So maybe the skeins that, like the regular skeins of yarn that, you know, go through some kind of process and end up, you know, turning out really shiny and soft for some reason. Maybe this went through that too or something. I don't know, but the texture is different. So I went ahead and got this. And so I thought, if I'm going to get this Cozy Occasion, I'm just going to get both of these yellows, because like most of the rest of them, they're just like, you know, one skein of each. But I thought, I'm not going to get all of these, including the Cozy Occasion, and then just like leave one of these yellows. I thought, yeah, I might as well just get it all, you know, whatever. Wouldn't be the first time I got all of it. So but it's a good thing I did get both of these, because when I got them home, I was looking at them, I was thinking, these are different colors. Like they're very similar, but this one is called Buttercup. It's more of like a buttery yellow, and then this one is called Lemon Ice. Is it kind of like icy yellow? And so see the difference. This is the more buttery kind of yellow, and this is the icy yellow. So I got both of those. These were $1.24, regular $4.99. And then this Cozy Occasion, Yarn Bee Cozy Occasion in the color Spa Day. It's these different shades of blue and a little bit of gray and white in it, but it's just like extra squishy. Like it almost feels like yarn I could make a scrunchie out of. It's not like the Bernat blanket kind of yarn either. I mean, it feels softer than even that. I don't know. It's just like a really nice surprise that they had this skein in there. So I got that regular $5.99, got it for $1.49. Although weren't there Cozy Occasions $4.99 and I'm gonna get them for $1.24? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. God, how long is this video going to be? And then they had 2 Yarn Bee Velvety Smooth Aran in the color white. Although, like these look completely different. Like, look how small. I mean, I know it must be like the way it's wound up or whatever. But this skein looks way bigger than this one. But yet it's the same specs and everything, and the same color or whatever. But it just looks like giant. It's just kind of a velvety yarn that's the white color. And a regular $4.99, got them for $1.24 each. And then a Baby Bee Adora Ball in the color Viva Violetta. It's a plush yarn that's kind of a pinkish purple. And the regular $4.99, got it for $1.24. And then I love this yarn in the color Light Taupe. So it's like, kind of like a light tan color. This is $1.24 too. And then I love this yarn in the color Forest. So it's kind of like an evergreen tree green color. $1.24 for that. And then one of these Baby Bee Cuddly One in the color Sun Kisses. It has white and yellow mixed together. And this is the kind of yarn that I want to use to make my niece a rug. I'm going to use that really thick yarn for one. But every time I get some of these, I know I started to get these for my niece. Like for her to use, I mean. But I just feel like this is going to make a really pretty rug. All of these kind of Cuddly One skeins. But it's just a really pretty yellow color. And then they had 2 skeins of the Baby Bee Snugs and Kisses. This one's called Cozy Rosy, really light pink color, and then this one that's called Strawberry Days. It's kind of like a peachy pink, and it's a little bit speckled too. This is just like a solid, like a light pink, and so this is a little bit speckled. These are regular $8.99, got them for $2.24 a piece. And a Baby Bee Sweet Delight Prince in the color Puppy Kisses. Kind of like a white speckled yarn. It has some blue speckles and some gray speckles. This is regular $6.49 and got it for $1.62. So it has this speckled look to it. The Yarn Bee Velvety Smooth in the color Pumpkin. This is a really gorgeous velvet yarn. Perfect for scrunchies. It's just like a deep dark kind of pumpkin color. Regular $4.99, got it for $1.24, but I love this. Baby Bee Adora Ball in the color Poolside Vibes. Kind of like an aquamarine sort of bluish, almost greenish bluish color. That's one of those plush yarns. Regular $4.99, got it for $1.24. Then a Baby Bee Stork Struck in the color Pinkaboo, because they do have a lot of pink colors that are Pinkaboo or Boo Pink or like whatever. This is called Pinkaboo, like a light pink color. A regular $5.99, got it for $1.49. A Yarn Bee Bambootiful, yeah, the bamboo yarn, and the color Rose. So like a rosy pink. So this is the Pinkaboo, how it's like a light pink, and then this is more of like a rosy pink. And the Bambootiful is regular $5.99, got it for $1.49. Another Yarn Bee Velvety Smooth in the color Black. This is regular $4.99, got it for $1.24, so it's like a black velvet yarn. A Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Chunky in the color, yeah, white. I was going to say it's a white, but I didn't want to assume that that's what it was called. But it's just like a white color. Regular $4.99, got it for $1.24. And then I love this yarn in the color Royal. It's weird, I'm thinking about that. Royal Blue, this is a Royal Blue skein. This is the yarn that I'm using to make my mom's blanket that I'm using single crochet that I haven't done yet. I'm still working on the one for her Mother's Day gift, the one with my EG stitch. But this is a Royal Blue that I'm using. I have all the skeins of this already. But this is the gorgeous Royal Blue that I'm using to make my mom's other blanket. This is a regular $4.99, got it for $1.24. And I love this cotton and the color olive. So like it's kind of a deep dark olive green. Almost like a brownish olive. Because there are olive greens that are more green than this. This is kind of like a brownish olive green. And so this was a regular $3.99, got it for 99 cents. And then two of these, Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek and the color Taken for Granite, Granite, not taken for granted, granite. So kind of like a grayish ivory, and has some grays in it, and it's sort of a bronzy kind of brown in it. So they had two of those. These were regular $4.99, got them for $1.24 each. And then I love this yarn print in the color Marled Denim. It does kind of remind you of denim jeans. It has that kind of striped look, like, you know, heathered or marled or whatever. So it's like a light blue and a dark blue mixed, like wrapped around each other. And so this is regular $4.99, got it for $1.24. And then I love this yarn print in the color The Struggle is Teal. So it does have some like streaky, almost speckled teal color in this. There is more white and orange and yellow than the teal color, but it is a really nice variegated skein. That was $1.24 too. And then they had two skeins of this. I love this yarn print in the color Nevada Dusk, or Nevada. I don't know which, I was going to say, I don't know which one sounds more southern, Nevada or Nevada, but if I'm saying it, they both sound southern, so it doesn't matter. But Nevada, I say Nevada, but I think you're supposed to say Nevada, but Nevada Dusk. And this is one of those that's like the kind that's extra floppy and kind of soft and shiny, but it's a little thin. This is the way they normally are, and then this, like, even the ball band looks like, it looks like some of it's gone, but it's not. It's just like the yarn ends up extra thin, and I mean, it's really shiny. I mean, this is a gorgeous colorway either way, but like the colors in this one look way better than this one, but at the same time, it's extra thin too. So I don't know. There are pros and cons with every skein that's like this. I mean, like close up. See that shine in it? I mean, the colors are gorgeous. There's all kinds of, it kind of reminds you of Southwestern colors. Except this colorway, the colors are so much more vibrant than some of the other skeins I've seen. Oranges and a little bit of purple and this gorgeous blue color. I love the blue in this. But see how this is the way that the skein normally is. Kind of like a matte finish sort of look. And then this one, it's just like extra shiny. I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, it really looks a lot better than that. Like the colors are more vibrant too. But at the same time, it's a little floppy and shiny, and so it's just a little bit different. And so it's not just like a dye-lot issue where, you know, the color might be different. I don't know how to use these together when the texture is so much different. But they're gorgeous colorways. Regular $4.99, got them for $1.24. And then the last one, one of these, I love the yarn print in the color Strawberry Jam. So I love these skeins. And speaking of a blanket that I haven't finished, I started a blanket and I'm using all the colorways that they have like this, where it's like this really vibrant. It's not just like one color. It's kind of like an ombre sort of effect with the color itself, and then they use that strand and they wrap it around a black strand. So it's black mixed in with like a really pretty mix of colors. That they have. This one's more of like a reddish pink mix with a little bit of white in it. And so they have different colorways of this, and I bought every single one of them that they have, and I'm making a moss stitch throw blanket. I started like, you know, months and months ago. I need to finish that. I have all the skeins for it. It's turning out really nice because I love this kind of mix of colors when they have like really vibrant colors with black, but I need to finish that. I already have all the skeins for that. I just need to finish it. But I got another one of these. And so that was $1.24 too. And so that's the haul. Another ridiculous haul from Hobby Lobby. And what's funny is when I was going through the line at the store, there's a guy that works in Hobby Lobby, and I've never really talked to him before, but he works in the front of the store. Or I've seen him work in other places in the store, but he was at the front of the store, and I was going through the line, and like, this is all made up in my head, but like he was like staring straight ahead, and like I was right here, going through the line, and it's like he was staring straight through me and the cashier, and like in my head, you know how my overly creative my mind is, I can't do two things at once. I was gonna like put all this away, and then I stop and whatever, but like when he was just staring straight ahead, it was just so odd that he didn't even like look at me once, and so in my head, where my mind went was, you know, he's probably a crocheter and he loves yarn like I do, and he was seeing me get all this yarn like I always do, and he couldn't even bring himself to look at all this is made up in my head, and he just couldn't even bring himself to look at me in my direction because he was just so pissed that I got all the yarn like I usually do, like I don't have enough, like that's what went on in my head, but like, you know, he was just like staring straight ahead, so he was probably thinking, he wasn't even thinking that, he may not even know how to crochet, he probably doesn't even care about yarn, but like that's what went through my head. When he wasn't looking at me, like he was intentionally not looking at me. What he was probably doing, he was probably like, you know, in his head thinking, okay, when I get off work, I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store, and I guess I can get some ground beef, and or maybe I should get some chicken, because you know ground beef is like $7 a pound now. So now he was probably doing like, you know, making up a list of stuff to get to the grocery store in his head. Like in my head, you know, he was like pissed off at me because I was getting all the yarn again. But I've never talked to that guy before, but I'm sure if I did, he would be like perfectly nice like all the rest of them. You know, nothing like, you know, what I imagine in my ridiculous head. So that's the haul. And then before I got the haul, I went to Goodwill, and the only thing I found was this I was going to say a crossbody bag. No, it's a freaking purse. I got this Gryffindor purse. I love Harry Potter. And so I got this Gryffindor purse. I mean, I guess it is kind of like a crossbody bag, but I don't know if I'd ever use it as that. I have so many of these crossbody bags. But I had to get this one because this is Harry Potter, and it has Gryffindor. And I'm a Ravenclaw, if you care about that. But I got this. This was $6.99, which is a little ridiculous, considering they got this for free. But, I mean, it was Harry Potter related, so I went ahead and got it anyway. But it's a really nice Harry Potter bag. And then I did get some other things at Goodwill, but I mean, this is another trip, but I'll go ahead and show that since I'm talking about Goodwill. They had this stroller cargo net, and I get to go in a stroller. But the only reason I got this is I was thinking about that net that I have that I'm gonna put over my wash machine to put some yarn on. I was thinking I could fill this with yarn, and so that's what I did. This is $2.99, so it's a neat little net thing. And so I put all those Teddy skeins, you know, the Premier Just Yarn Teddy that I got at Dollar Tree. These yarn kind of like that, where they had some blue and pink and black and white, and so I put all my Teddy skeins in there, and they fit perfectly in this little stroller bag thing. So I'm gonna hang this up in my room somewhere. And then they had Billy Elliot on DVD. I think their DVDs are $1.99, unless they're otherwise marked. But I think they're $1.99. But I've heard of this movie, but I've never watched it before. But I went ahead and got that. And then they had 3 Goosebumps books. Because like I've said, I'm trying to collect all the Goosebumps books again after I had them years ago, but I'm trying to get them all back. This is The Beast from the East, so I got that. And then Monster Blood. Although I'm the kind of collector where it feels like I want to get another copy of Monster Blood with like the original cover. Because I mean, it's the original art. But like the cover design is one that was updated over the years, and so I want to get like the original too. I'm one of those collectors. If you're into physical media, then you know that kind of mentality with collectors, where I've like double dipped on movies just for the cover art, you know what I'm saying? So I'm one of those people, and so I got this. This is a really good story. I remember this one vividly because I read this a lot. But this isn't the original cover. Like I would still want to get another copy of this Monster Blood, but I went ahead and got it just in case I never find it. And then Piano Lessons. And then I did that on purpose because the corner's gone. But Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, but the word is cut off. So Piano Lessons Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. And sometimes they charge 10 cents for the kids' books, and sometimes they charge $1 for the kids' books, like the paperback books. Luckily, she charged 10 cents a piece for these. But I guess I would have spent $1 a piece on them, but still, I mean, if they're supposed to be 10 cents a piece, I'd rather spend that. You know how cheap I am. And then they had this pretty bottle that my mom found that's going to go in our bathroom, because the topper has like this jewel on it and kind of shiny, has this metal look to it on the outside. And then they had this in there too, because we're starting to collect these like glass canisters and stuff. It just has like a flat top, but it's a pretty orange color. And I'm always just describing the colors of things. I'm surprised I don't describe the colors of books or whatever. We're just keeping our safety pins on this one for right now. But I've got this canister in this bottle. I guess the only other thing here at the end is I'll show this flower that I made for my mom. I'm going to give this to her when I give her her blanket when it's all done. But it turned out really nice, and I figured out a way to use my EG stitch and make a flower. And I'll do a tutorial of this sometime because it turned out so nice. And so this is what it looks like after you make the flower. And so it turns out like this. And this is just a little chain that I'm put on the top of it. But this is the little flower. And so these are the EG stitches around it. And then this is like a circle with a double crochet, and I'll show how to do this in the future. But what I did was I made 2 of these with the purple yarn, and then I weaved in the ends, and then I put the 2 backs together and sewed them together, and then I put a little button through the middle of it. And so this is what I made for my mom, and so this is the purple version of the flower. And so this is just a button that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I put one on the other side too. So see, it's like a double layer thing. So it's just 2 of these, stuck to each other, and then with the button in the middle. And then I did a couple chains at the top, and then I attached one of these little things that I had gotten, and it has a little clip on it. But it was just a little something extra to give my mom for Mother's Day, because I had a little bit of that purple left when I was using it to make my mom's blanket. And so I was thinking, maybe I can make like a flower or something. And so I was just messing around and using my EG stitch and figured out how to make a little flower. And so I just wanted to make her like a special little thing. And so I'll do a tutorial of this in the future. But it's turning out really nice. I do love how this looks. I mean, just by itself, it's really pretty. And then to double it up and then add a little, you could use like beads or other statement buttons. And like what I was going to use first was the buttons that I have left over from like the ones I use in my mom's bed jacket. But then when I was in Hobby Lobby and I saw these, I was thinking about all the glass stuff that we have in our bathroom and how she likes that kind of bejeweled looking glass stuff. These aren't glass, these are plastic or acrylic or whatever. But it does kind of remind me of like all that glass stuff that we have in our bathroom. And so I thought it'd be kind of pretty to put that in the middle of it. But that's just going to be like a little bonus gift from my mom for her early Mother's Day. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.